I'm Stephanie Crawford, and welcome to another episode of Mrs. Cford Vlogs. This is going to be one of the I'll Show You series. I'm not going to pick a specific game and show you how to adapt it to your classroom today. Instead, I am going to help you see how I walk through a process so that you can, and yes, you can use the game that I'm using and use the template that I show you, but I'm really hoping that you'll be inspired, like, oh, okay, this is how I can go from an idea that I see or that I hear, a game that I played, and take it into my classroom, because I think that it's kind of intimidating sometimes when we talk about, oh, I made this game. You're like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what I need to do to create something of my own. It's not that scary once you understand that there's just a thought process behind it. You're inspired by everyday things. Could be the randomest things. You could find paper clips on your desk and be inspired by a game for them. This was inspired by a game called Marrying Mr. Darcy. If you're a Pride and Prejudice fan, you recognize the name Mr. Darcy. If you're not, that's okay. You didn't have to be to play this game, but it's a card game that does involve dice at times. I played it a couple weeks ago with some friends. We were really having a good time, full of laughter. They didn't know the story, Pride and Prejudice, they weren't familiar with it. So it didn't matter. The element of the game, the card game, were all a character. Your cards that you draw end up deciding your fate. And some of those cards were roll the dice to figure out what happens to you. And everybody in the party had to roll the dice. And part of the fun of that is seeing what your neighbor is going to roll. How are they going to be affected? Will they get off scot-free, or are they going to end up having their game ruined by this one roll of the dice? That's part of that fun element. Now, this was weeks ago. So when we talk about getting inspired and jumping in and doing something, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do something tonight and then all of a sudden have this eureka idea. It just means that you have those experiences kind of on the back burner. They're in the back of your brain. They're waiting there. You just have to be ready as you are going about your normal daily life. You have to be ready to say, oh, wait, I think this could fit in here really nicely, and take that chance. So again, it goes back to last week I did that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You just have to say yes. When designing a game, you also just have to say yes. It's not going to be perfect the first time. There are going to be things that you change as you go to fit your class, to fit your needs, to fit you. The important thing is to start. So today, randomly sitting at my desk at the end of the day, I was thinking about that experience playing this game with my friends. And I was looking at my desk and I had one of my containers of dice there. And all of a sudden I just thought, why am I not using those dice cards in my classroom? So I decided to make some. So I started with Google Drawings, which I love, and made these templates. Now my classroom is Harry Potter themed. So I just put 6 on a page, and this is just the beginning. I wanted to be able to show you. But each dice, so when each person rolls, the 1 through 6 does stand for something. So in this one, this is a student's out of bed card. If they roll a 1, Filch catches you. Write a metaphor comparing detention and something else. Okay, so each one of these, since I teach lit, is really catered to my subject, but I'm able to decide what goes where. I can change it as I want to, since it's on a template or on a Google drawing that's editable for me. I can use it as a template to just keep going and creating, changing as I need to. I even have one on here that is the, like, ooh, you escaped. A roll of 6, whew, your invisibility cloak worked, now you better stay in your room. And I even have one that's more of a physical activity. You roll a 5, Malfoy wanted to meet you to duel, skip across the room to avoid getting hit by his jinx. These are actually pretty simple to create. You get to customize this as you want, decide what you want in there. Again, can be done by content area. You can put a multitude of things in there if you want to go through multiple contents. If you're a lower grade teacher and you teach multiple subjects, this would be great for you to do. You could have different tasks that they have to complete with that card. It can almost be combined with a scavenger hunt. This all came just from me having that one experience, and then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, looking up, seeing something else and thinking, oh, that could go together, and getting excited about it and doing it. I didn't put it off. I didn't say, oh, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. I'm pretty busy now. We're always busy. We're always going to be busy. You gotta take the chance. You gotta create it now. So you should look around you. Again, look for paper clips, scissors, envelopes. Look for random things that are in your classroom that could inspire your next game. How could you use them? Could you combine them with something you already do? There is inspiration all around you as long as you're willing to keep your eyes open and that you're not worried that you have to go huge, that you have to have a lot of money invested, that you have to know all of these different games. You don't have to be a gamer. Don't be scared of bringing games in because you don't consider yourself a gamer. You just have to, again, be willing to take something that inspires you, that you have fun with in your normal life, and give it a little twist into your classroom. And your passion will make it your students' passion also. So I challenge you this week for this I'll Show You to find something around you and figure out how you can make it into a game and do it. Don't just plan it. This isn't class. This isn't you being a student getting prepared to go into the classroom. This is you being the teacher. You're going to do it. Find that inspiration, make it happen. This is the end of the year. It's the perfect time for it. The kids need something new, something fun, and so do you. So I'd love to hear what you come up with for your challenge. I hope that you'll comment to respond there. Let us know what you're doing. As always, if you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time on Mrs. Cford Blogs. For me, Google Drawings is a tool that I love to use to help me create when I'm inspired by a card game. I think it makes it really easy to build a template that you want, include your text boxes, your icons, build it to what you really want for that game for the classroom. It doesn't take very long to learn, easy to interact with, can be accessed anywhere. You gotta love those Google tools. You might have one that you like better. I'd love to hear if there is some tool that you really like working with. But for me, Google Drawings makes this really easy.